Things were all good between Berk and Ximena Cuellar at the end of the last episode of 90 Day Fiance, before the 90 days. They were very happy for each other. Mike proposed. She said yes. They hugged goodbye before he flew home. In the previews for episode 10, however, Mike was concerned that she had grown distant and wanted a boob job. Did Mike pay for Ximena to get a breast augmentation just so that she'd talk to him again? We know that a lot of the footage shown in episode 9 was jumbled. Somebody dropped the ball. However, whether you saw Discovery Plus or TLC, Berk and Ximena Cuellar were having a great time. Mike had worked on himself, and Ximena encouraged him to keep up the good habits even when he goes home. The two affirmed their love for each other at a beautiful dinner. Though they had enjoyed romantic outings for just the two of them, this time, they were not alone. Ximena's entire family had been invited along. Mike had gone to great lengths to make sure that everything would be just right. There, with the beautiful view and the wonderful meal, Mike praised Ximena and affirmed his love for her. As he had planned ahead of time, he then proposed to her in Spanish. Ximena was overwhelmed with happiness in that moment. It's true that, in the past, she had felt indecisive. But Mike had done a lot to assure her that he would be a partner to her, not a third son. Ximena was not the only one experiencing all of the feels in that moment. Her father was there. He had expressed his own misgivings in the past, but he wept with joy at this beautiful sight. Ximena embraced Mike. Now engaged, the two knew that they would be spending their future together. There was a long road ahead of them, however. Mike had to return home after his visit to Colombia. Among other things, he needed to start the paperwork to bring over Ximena on a K-1 visa. Only after coming to the United States would she become his wife. As soon as they could, they would also bring over her sons. But what's this? In the promo for episode 10, which will air on Sunday, February 20th, things aren't going so well. Absence has not made the heart grow fonder in Ximena's case, as Mike worries that she has grown distant. Something seems a little off with Ximena. She's just getting a little bit more distant, He can be seen telling his father and grandfather. Yuri still sending her money? Mike's dad asks. It is unclear what Mike answers, due to editing, but he does share an illuminating detail. She wants to get some augmentation for her breasts, she's asking me to pay for it, Mike seems to say. Ximena hasn't been acting like herself lately, he then comments. So Mike declares, that's why I need to go back to Colombia. What makes this particularly interesting is that we already know that Ximena underwent one surgery. While it's assumed that Mike paid for it, it's unclear. Almost a year ago, Ximena shared a series of photos and clips of her through the process of her liposuction and recovery. Ximena only used liposuction, a surgery that involves real risks, to shed about 11 pounds. However, she seemed very happy with the results, and we're happy that she's happy. Did she undergo a breast augmentation around the same time? Did Mike pay for it? We just don't know, to be honest. What we do know is that reports, backed up by video evidence, say that Mike is filming with Ximena for another season. All of what we're seeing now would have been filmed last year, and it may be that these two will appear on the flagship 90 Day Fiance. It's also possible, since Mike is filming in Colombia, that they are simply on another season of Before the 90 Days. Whatever happens on the rest of this season, it seems like Mike is going to be put through an emotional journey. However, it's clear on social media that they are back together, and very much in love.